are stepping up, making a significant impact in delivering excellence. Are you a parent or guardian looking for the best school for your child, whether in the international or Kenyan curriculum? Join us on November 29th and 30th at Sarit Expo Center for the 3rd edition of the Private Schools Expo and Conference. Be part of this exciting 2-day exhibition and explore a wide range of options for your child's education from kindergarten to primary and secondary levels. The 3rd edition of the Private Schools Expo and Conference is packed with opportunities to engage, network, and discover the latest developments in Kenya's private school education sector under the theme, Nurturing Learners for a Sustainable Tomorrow. For more information or to exhibit, call Derek on 0719 300 469 or email dochieng@ke.nationmedia.com.
At Golden Tea, what we are doing, we are pushing for inclusion of persons with disabilities to play the game of golf.
I work with the children with the special needs. We are promoting inclusion in our national teams, regional teams. We have people with the disabilities also taking part in different sports.
His swing was good today. I'm very proud of him. And the fact that he's also able to play in the presence of other people and to just socially be present is a very good thing.
The chapters outside of Africa focused on women getting positions on listed boards. For the Africa chapter, we're looking not just at getting women on listed boards, but also all boards.
Putting women in positions of where they can have influence because there's a crisis going on doesn't really matter. What matters is that we have capacity to deal with those crises.
And 25% is great because we're doing better than others, but 25 is still not 50.
While the regulators are great in this process, it shouldn't be a regulatory issue in 2024. It's actually an issue because women are good for business.
This week on the Chama Show.
Wazi.
Nasikia wewe pia ni chama.
Kabisa, unajua mimi ni chairman wa chama za Kenya, chama.
Na nasikia wewe ndio unaweka pesa.
Vizuri.
No, the chairman is not supposed to keep money. It is the work of the treasurer.
Tunaendea chai sana kwa wingi kwa sababu tunakuja mapema. Na tukikuja mapema, mke hawezi kupika chai hiyo wakati wa mapema kwa sababu labda kama yeye atashughulikia watoto waende shule.
Catch this and more on Sunday at 4:30 p.m.
Where did you come from?
Hamlet. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Are you ready for the show?
This week on Churchill Show.
Churchill, every time he comes, the first thing he says, you must have been a beautiful baby.
Tell them you must have been a beautiful baby.
But yeah.
She's your lady, your business partner. Hata baba yangu na mama yangu walianza hivyo.
Ukitaka kujua mwaka ya demu, unazaga tu randomly kutusima mwaka. Na mademu wa 90s ugevaje? Nini watu wa one?
New Panadol Extra Soluble dissolves twice as fast versus standard paracetamol tablets.
Join Nation Sacco today and experience a financial partner that works for you. Call us or visit us at IPS Building on 10th floor, Kimathi Street, Nairobi. We are open to all. Nation Sacco, fulfilling dreams.
This is NTV.
Well, live from the Nation Center, you're watching NTV at 1 on this Saturday, the 16th day of November 2024. For the next 30 minutes, we take you across the country and also beyond our borders to update you on everything that is happening. My name is Ibrahim Karanja. Let's get started. Now, we begin with a developing story where President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta are sharing a podium for the first time in a couple of years, coming on the back of frosty relations between the two. The episcopal consecration of Bishop Peter Ndungu in Embu County has provided the platform for the two leaders to sit together in one podium. Also present in the event is new Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki, as well as former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who is sitting a considerable distance from the seat of power. It is a meeting of many awkward moments, bearing in mind that it is led by the Catholic Church, which only 2 days ago unleashed a scathing attack of Ruto's administration. The president was received by, among others, Nyeri Bishop Anthony Muheria, who has been singled out for attacks by those defending government. Uhuru and Ruto have not been seeing eye to eye since the change of administration, the height of which was Uhuru's complaint of lack of budgets for his office. We are monitoring events there and will keep you informed. Of course, we have our teams that are there to give you a blow-by-blow account. Meanwhile, the hard-hitting statement by Catholic bishops on Thursday continues to ruffle feathers, even dominating speeches by political leaders across the country. Leaders defending the president accuse the bishops of unfair criticisms of the administration. But as David Mudhoka tells us, some leaders are standing with the clergy. Well, we will be getting into that story by David Mudhoka on the responses that are coming to the Catholic Church, especially from that Thursday tough or hard-hitting statement, as you may call it. Now, the government now says decaying moral fabric in society is exposing schoolgirls to early pregnancies and ruining their education. The Ministry of Education says close to 30 girls have been forced to sit their Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education in maternity wards due to early pregnancies. Margaret Kimathi has more.
What kind of insurance do you have?
The Ministry of Education has expressed concerns over increased cases of teenage pregnancies among candidates sitting for the 2024 KCSE examinations. With a record of 27 cases since the exam began, some candidates are now taking the test under special conditions.
There were increased incidences of our girls doing their exams in hospitals. We have to deal with these teenage pregnancy issues. And I have said elsewhere, and I'm repeating it here, our biggest problem is not those boys in those schools. Our biggest problem is us, the adults.
The ministry says this is a worrying trend that would have a negative implication on education of the girl child in future. PS Kipsang adding that there is a seeming failure by society in protecting young girls from exposure to intimate relations, whereas others were the perpetrators.
We are going to say as adults that we want to protect the culture, then we shall not have this problem. Because most of the cases are not out of these young boys. Most of the cases are out of us, the adults.
PS Kipsang was speaking while inspecting the construction and manufacture of junior secondary school transition to grade 9 in Embu County. He says the government is constructing 18,000 JSS classrooms.
We have already delivered 3,500, which are complete. We are at between 40 and 80% on another 7,500 within the next, by the 15th of December.
There is also additional human resource by employment of new teachers, and we want to just ensure that we support the ministry and ensure that they are able to prepare our kids.
We're also mopping out the teachers who have the minimum qualification to teach in JS, and therefore by January, February, thereabout, we will be able to have more. We have already done about 10,000 teachers.
Kipsang says the Ministry of Education will roll out pilot assessment for grade 9 in July next year to enable teachers understand what will be required for learners to transit to grade 10. Margaret Kimathi, NTV.
Well, let's go beyond our borders, but on matters that are very key to the country here. And the first week of COP 2019 is coming to an end, and there is very little progress in the talks. And in fact, Africa says it worries that the continent may walk away. Africa was published, but according to the negotiators, its contents are upsetting. We now join NMG's sustainability editor Zainab Wandati, who is attending the COP in Baku, Azerbaijan. For the latest, Zainab, good afternoon. It is afternoon here. What is in this draft agreement that makes it so contentious?
Hello, Ibrahim. It is also afternoon here in Baku. I'm only 1 hour ahead of you. And yes, the draft text did drop last night, and Africa and the least developing countries and all the countries in the global south are pretty upset about it, because when Africa came here, when the LDC group came here, when the global south came here, their agenda was key, and they're all speaking in one voice that they want money. And this money they want, they are calling it the new quantified collective goal. So this money is intended to give these developing countries the chance that they need, or the power that they need to adapt to or mitigate the impacts of climate change. And Africa is asking for $1.3 trillion. But when the text dropped last night, it did not have that target that Africa is looking for, and it did not have any timelines for when this money will come, and Africa is looking for timelines. And in fact, the text, using the COP language, is called bracketed, so the text is heavily bracketed. What that means is that all the words within those brackets are heavily contested. They're words that nobody has agreed to. And why this is a bad thing for Africa is because this is the last day of the technical negotiations, which means that from tomorrow and Monday they need to be handing over a clean text to the ministers. And if this text is still heavily contested like this, if it is still heavily bracketed like this, it means that there's not much the ministers can do. They can't add anything to it. All they can do is to discuss what is within those brackets. And it is hoped that by the end of the day today, a new text will be out which will have resolved some of these issues. So African group, the LDC group, the least developing countries group, the countries in the global south are still giving their reactions to this text. Last week, when an initial draft was out, it was about 8 pages. Then earlier this week, it went up to 34 pages. And when the draft came out last night, it came out less 8 pages. So there's still a lot of discussion on what this means for the continent. And I did get to speak to Kenya's principal secretary in the Ministry of Environment, who is currently leading the Kenya delegation in the absence of CS Adam Duale, who had to leave for urgent matters. And he expressed Kenya's and Africa's concern against what this text looks like. And this is what he had to say.
We are still pushing on as a team of negotiators from Kenya, and of course within the African group of negotiators chaired by our climate envoy Ali. But as indicated earlier on in the week, the African group of negotiators have always put in a strong position on what we need in terms of the financing for the global south and for Africa. And the $1.3 trillion still stands from our end, but we want to, there is a concern as we finish week one that we don't want just to be a mere agreement, but we want tangible conversations with our brothers and sisters, especially from the global north, on how this is going to be financed. So we have a concern in terms of how this is progressing. We don't want mere text, mere agreements. We want a factual and an understanding on how this is going to happen. So as we go into week two, and we expect that our ministers will be able to take that on board, and we are going to brief them as soon as they resume the high level on week two of our concerns from the African group of negotiators.
So So Ibrahim, today is day 6 of these talks, and tomorrow, day 7, this site will be closed. It's a rest day. Delegates have been given 1 day to rest, and so it's very likely that tonight the negotiators will be burning the midnight oil to finish or iron out everything that needs to be ironed out, because from tomorrow the negotiators hand over these conversations to, from Monday that is, they hand over this conversation to ministers who now bring in the political will that is needed to carry these discussions home and bring it home. And so tomorrow the African group will be holding a ministerial for the African ministers, the AMSEN, they call it the African Environment Ministers Council. So they'll be meeting tomorrow for a debrief from the negotiators, what's happened so far this week, what's left in contention, where do they need to pick up, so that Monday, now the ministers carry this conversation forward. But I'll be telling you more about this in subsequent bulletins, Ibrahim.
Well, Zainab, before I let you go, even as we speak about the new collective quantified goal, there was that push by the developed countries to have emerging economies like China also contribute to climate financing. Is this still in contestation, and is it something captured in the draft that you're speaking about?
So this collective, the NCQG as they're calling it here, has come up as a result of a conversation that started in 2009 when the developed world, particularly Hillary Clinton, committed to give the developing world $100 billion per year as climate financing. But research has shown that this money is nowhere near enough for what the countries need for adaptation and mitigation. And so the discussions about the NCQG came up to be able to raise this goal beyond the $100 billion and bring it to 1.3 trillion. However, if you look at the actual amount of money that they need for sub-Saharan Africa, it's about 45 trillion. So the 1.5 trillion ceiling is just a start, to get the conversation started. And China itself, as you mentioned, China is part of the G77 and China group. The G77 is basically means group of 77, and Kenya is part of that group. China is part of that group. There are all those discussions going on that China should actually contribute money because it is the biggest emitter. But it's still too early to tell. We wait to see what the decision will be by the end of this day today, Ibrahim.
Well, Zainab Wandati there, she is the Nation Media Group Sustainability Editor, coming to us live from Baku in Azerbaijan, following up on the developments at COP29. Remember, very important conversations going on there, miles away, but very critical to Kenya and Africa at large. Now, moving on. While good agronomical practices compel farmers to buy certified seeds for planting, environmental degradation has led to the loss of some indigenous seed varieties. But in Gilgil area of Nakuru County, farmers are bringing back lost seed varieties in efforts to boost household nutrition and grow climate-resilient crops. Bridget Ngana has more.
It is an extraordinary meeting. Smallholder farmers in Gilgil, Nakuru County met to showcase seed varieties of crops they have been studying in efforts to bring them back from near extinction. From beans, maize, herbs and onions, these farmers are intent on knowing which crops survive best in the different microclimates here in Gilgil.
Tulikuwa na maharagwe moja ambaye ni ya black, na ukiona mbegu ya black ujue that is nutrition, iko na a lot of iron. Lakini sasa kwa sababu ya watu kuassociate black na zile vitu mbaya, unasikia black wanasema ni kifo, black sijui ni nini, watu wamekuwa wakiza. Kwa hivyo through characterization tumekuja sasa kurevive hiyo mbegu inaitwa Nyakairo.
There was a lot of challenges. And in most times, we could not even plant in good time. And as you know, the way of climate change, weather in Gilgil is not suitable mostly for crops. Short rains are very short.
The farmers say they can now identify different seed varieties by looking at the plant's characteristics from planting, weeding through to harvesting. And this will inform how they will prepare for the next planting season.
Kama managu ni mboga zetu za kienyeji, tulikuwa tunaamini tu managu ni managu, lakini tumeelewa kuna tofauti ya managu.
So this is one of more than 2,500 projects we are accompanying now in those four continents, but this is one of the very, very concrete and very helpful projects.
These farmers represent a bulk of subsistence farmers across the country who rely on seed banks to grow food.
We have a lot of crops, diverse, in the universe that were mostly indigenous. And those crops, they were stigmatized because they were referred as backward things. But we are saying they were not backward because they have a lot of nutrients. Also, they are very tolerant, they are very resilient.
Humanity has a big responsibility that for so many people there will be enough to eat, there will be enough of good water and air, but we have our responsibility to care it as good as possible.
The farmers are beneficiaries of a collaboration between Seed Savers Network Kenya and Miserio to improve the livelihoods of subsistence farmers through agroecology and the revival of indigenous seed knowledge through the creation of seed banks across rural Kenya. Bridget Ngana, NTV, Nakuru.
I saw so marvelous people.
Well, like we earlier said, Zainab Bondati is in Baku following up on matters climate COP29. And when speaking about climate, it's very important to also look at what we are doing in terms of climate here in Kenya. So let's head to another story on matters climate. And as world leaders convene in Baku to address these pressing challenges, the effects of the vice are being felt far and wide. Back home, communities along the coast of Kenya are turning to seaweed farming as a sustainable alternative livelihood, with traditional crops like cassava and maize failing due to the impacts of global warming.
In Mwazoro village, residents have abandoned traditional crops like cassava and maize, embracing a surprising alternative, seaweed farming. Once plagued by drought, the villagers now cultivate seaweed along the shorelines, drying it inland. The crop has become a cornerstone of a growing industry, producing soaps, shampoo, and food-graded seaweed powder. Increasing temperatures, unpredictable rainfall, and rising sea levels have forced coastal communities to adapt to these changing times.
Coast of Kenya, most of the fishing is actually undertaken by men. So what it means is that as the men go fishing, the women and the youth don't have a place in fishing, so they remain at home. So the seaweed interventions came in to support the women to be able to have a livelihood.
In Kibuyuni village, seaweed farming has not only transformed lives, but also brought significant infrastructure development, including electricity.
Extract the pure carrageenan so that we farmers from Kenya can be able to export the carrageenan to other countries rather than exporting the raw material, because with the raw seaweed it's less value.
For Tima Jasho, a mother of 7, seaweed farming has been life-changing.
Pakubwa katika kulipia karo za watoto. Hata mzee akiniongeza pesa, huwa mimi tayari niko na zamani nafanya kuongezewa tu ngalipia watoto shule.
George Maina from the Nature Conservative emphasized the broader impact of seaweed farming. Seaweed farming is proving to be more than an economic solution. It represents a climate-resilient future for Kenya's coastal communities. Nurdin Almoge, NTV.
You're watching NTV at 1. Let's take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll be having several other stories, including some political stories. Don't go too far.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
Your profile says you don't drink.
How? And I miss out on the silky refreshing test?
For real? For real. Well, in that case, I'll have whatever he's having.
I drink responsibly. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Del.
Del who?
Del Monte.
Real recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives.
100% real fruit.
Sustainability becomes one of the biggest challenges that you will face when it comes to building movements, because burnout happens. You get tired. Always ask yourself the question, why did I even get here in the first place? One of the easiest or one of the best ways to do this is through this open canvas to movement building that talks about 3 things in movements. You have the movement identity, you have the movement journey, and then you have the enablers.
Kenya, twende mbele. NCBA, go for it.
Tarehe 4
on 4th
hadi tarehe 15
up to 15th of December
mwezi wa 12. Mungu anatupa nguvu kupitia kwa damu na mwili wa mwanawe.
Are you ready for the show?
This week on Churchill Show.
Churchill, every time he comes, the first thing he says, you must have been a beautiful baby. Tell them you must have been a beautiful baby. But yeah.
She's your lady, your business partner. Hata baba yangu na mama yangu walianza hivyo.
Utakujua mwaka ya demu, unazaga tu randomly kutusima mwaka. Na mademu wa 90s ubievaje? Mimi watu wa 1.
Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Welcome back. You're watching NTV at 1. Let's continue informing you. And the hard-hitting statement by Catholic bishops on Thursday continues to ruffle feathers, even dominating speeches by political leaders across the country. Leaders defending the president accuse the bishops of unfair criticisms of the administration. But as David Mudhoka tells us, some leaders are standing with the clergy.
Led by Sports Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, a section of Rift Valley leaders are asking the men of the cloth to be balanced and objective when criticizing the William Ruto-led government.
Sisi tunakubali kukosolewa kwa sababu inchi lazima ikae ikiwa na watu wanatoa maoni tofauti. Lakini mimi nakuomba Bishop, mkitukosoe kama mmeuliza ukweli ya ile maneno mnatukosoa.
At another burial in Belgut, more Rift Valley leaders differed with the bishops on the issue of economy, saying the country is on the right economic track.
You know, this country has come from an extremely difficult place. We just in the taking an economic positive trajectory, and we want to request the church to give the president space so that we can have our economy back in its rightful place na tusonge mbele kama taifa letu la Kenya.
It was very unfortunate for the bishops just to speak about the negatives about this government, which is not true. I'm really asking them to come out clean and be objective.
And in Kabarnet in Baringo, MPs asked the Catholic bishops to stay away from politics and focus on bringing back the stray flocks to the church.
Samani sisi tukienda Sunday school tulikuwa tunajipata tukiwa wengi kwa kanisa. Siku hizi kanisa imekuwa kidogo kwa wananchi ama kwa waumini kuliko ambao wao wengi tuko nje. Sasa hao wako na kibarua ya kutoa watu wa dhambi waingie kanisa.
Kama wewe
Wewe ni mhubiri, ubiri kanisa. Wachana na mambo ya siasa. Kama unataka siasa, kuja kiwanja. Ya pili, kama kuna makosa kwa serikali, kuna institutions kama EACC, peleka ripoti yako pale. Si ndio bana sema ati corruption nini.
And in Nairobi, nominated MP Sabina Chege asked the bishops to keep emotions away when speaking about national issues.
So let us not become very emotional. Let us preach peace, and where these people have done wrong, let us correct with a lot of love.
But other leaders are defending the bishops by asking leaders to take the opinions of the bishops in good faith.
Ni vizuri tusiingilize kila kitu ambayo imetajwa kwa siasa. Na pia nayo kanisa ningeomba, when there is such things, ni vizuri kwanza we have a statement going directly to the concerned parties.
On Friday, President Ruto himself responded to the criticism by the bishops, asking them to be factual and objective in their attacks. David Muthoka, NTV.
Still in politics, and the battle for the control of Jubilee Party between Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni and nominated Member of Parliament Sabina Chege continues to simmer, with Sabina Chege and her allies now describing Kioni as a masquerader who does not represent anyone in the former ruling party. Reacting to a move by Kioni to convene a National Executive Council meeting yesterday, despite being stopped by the High Court on Thursday, the Sabina Chege faction has further termed Kioni's action as an attempt to run Jubilee as a one-man show.
We wish to reaffirm our position that this party is not run by an individual, but have laid out structures as established by law and the party constitution. It is no one-man chest-thumping playground, as Kioni has wished to make it unsuccessfully, by both actions and deeds over time.
NEC member, the elected members, the MCs don't want you. Why do you want to keep insisting on a position that you go represent yourself? And that's why we said Kioni has become a one-man guitarist who sings the song, plays the guitar, and dances to his own songs, without consultation, without even putting the consideration whether they are audience or people are enjoying his music or not.
Hiki chama sio chake. Hiki chama ni cha wabunge, kina wabunge wengi katika bunge, National Assembly pamoja na Senate, kiko na MCS wengi katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, na yeye anachukulia sisi ni kama hatuko, ni kama yeye peke yake ndiye ako.
Elsewhere, industrial leaders have been encouraged to focus on increasing capacity in manufacturing by embracing young talent in the country. Speaking during the 5th Kenya Beverage Excellence Awards and Gala Dinner, the Principal Secretary for the State Department of Industry in the Ministry of Investments, Trade and Industry, that is Dr. Juma Mukwana, said that total Africa manufacturing capacity is equal to 10% manufacturing capacity of China and India, and yet Africa is very much behind in development. This year's awards had over 3,000 nominations entries and over 50 brand categories voted.
So Africans trading with Africans is only 15%, meaning 85% is with other people. And the people who are going to make that difference is you and me. We are not going to increase intra-Africa trade if we don't have products that we can use to penetrate the African market. So if you look at the 55 countries, we are about number 6 or 7 in terms of manufacturing. But when you take the total combined manufacturing of Africa, the 55 countries manufacturing from South Africa to Morocco, it is only 10% of Chinese manufacturing.
Now, there goes the indicator that it is time for sports news, and Spain secured first place in their Nations League group with a hard-fought victory over Denmark at Parken Stadium. Although the European champions had already sealed a spot in the quarterfinals, the 2-1 win ensured they advanced as Group A for winners. Mikel Oyarzabal opened the scoring in the 15th minute, latching onto a precise pass from Ayoze Perez before calmly slotting past Kaspar Schmeichel. Perez, the former Newcastle and Leicester winger, added his name to the score sheet in the second half, capping off a brilliant Spain attack with a load.
This is NTV.
Babies play around and then, oops, Morphix ina-absorb like whoop. Imagine, haiwezi leak in 50 different movements. Makofi to both babies and Morphix. Renewed Morphix, ultimate quality.
Morphix is renewed. Improved Morphix quality, now in blue package.
Enjoy all-in-one payment solutions for your business with Network. Accept multiple payment methods and process all your business transactions on one device. Whether it's M-Pesa, Airtel Money, Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay, or Google Pay. Network does it all. It's faster, it's better, it's smarter. Get it for your business today by calling 0730-847-847.
Baadaye auntie.
Mkuu, umetufikisha home poa. Asante. Pia wewe pata kakitu ikufikishe home.
Nunua any 2 80-gram Cadbury Dairy Milk Packs ama Cadbury Drinking Chocolate. Visit cadbury.africa uandikie someone special your heartfelt message ya kumshow thanks. T's and C's apply. Cadbury, there's a glass and a half in everyone.
Tarehe 4
on 4th
hadi tarehe 15
up to 15th of December
mwezi wa 12, Mungu anatupa nguvu kupitia kwa damu na mwili wa mwanawe.
Are you ready for the show?
This week on Churchill Show.
Churchill, every time he comes, the first thing he says, you must have been a beautiful baby.
Tell them you must have been a beautiful baby.
But yeah.
She's your lady, your business partner. Hata baba yangu na mama yangu walianza hivyo.
Utakujua mwaka ya demu, unazaga tu randomly kutusima mwaka. Na mademu wa 90s ubievaje? Mimi watu wa 1.
Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
If you fall short, there is a way, hallelujah. There's a higher merit that comes and imparts you a favor, and people will wonder how and why they are dealing with you the way they are dealing with you. They have developed a liking towards you, and they don't know why. Something has changed, which is already sweeping across this place. Hallelujah, I'm telling you, it's on you right now, hallelujah.
Where did you come from?
Hamlet. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Kuna mbomu 15 pounds. Nachukua mbomu. Zinakwenda. Nahitaji diaper.
Kimeumana.
39. 40,000 shillings. Namba 3. King Kokakang. Na 50,000 Kenya Grand Mega
My name is Mariam Bishop.
Star.
Most bankable host Brian Aselli.
And we bring you the Morning Fix. Shimano is in the building as promised.
Yes.
Every day is a different discussion on something you care about.
And we want to hear from you. That's why we want to hear your say.
So we've got star-studded guests, the people you want to hear from, the people you want to connect with, and
all the celebrities will be in studio. We'd like you to pick up that phone and have a chat with them.
Without that project, I would not have done anything else that I've done before, because it was kind of like...
Then, yeah, when I was coming to Kenya now on my route of, wanting to make music.
But Friday, guys.
Friday is where we have all the fun. There is mad fun with
Aseli, DJ E, good vibes, great conversation, artists from all over the continent and more. So keep it 96.3
Nation FM.
Want to know the biggest story of the week? Do not worry. The Weekly Review got you covered. For in-depth analysis of politics, business, governance, as well as social issues, the Weekly Review covers it all. For well-researched, exclusive and investigative content, read the Weekly Review every Sunday in the Sunday Nation.
At Golden Tea, what we are doing, we are pushing for inclusion of persons with disabilities to play the game of golf.
I work with the children with special needs. We are promoting inclusion in our national teams, regional teams. We have people with disabilities also taking part in different sports.
His swing was good today. I'm very proud of him. And the fact that he's also able to play in the presence of other people and to just socially be present is a very good thing.
Quality education is a fundamental element when it comes to your child's future, and private schools are stepping up, making a significant impact in delivering excellence. Are you a parent or guardian looking for the best school for your child, whether in the international or Kenyan curriculum? Join us on November 29th and 30th at Sarit Expo Center for the 3rd edition of the Private Schools Expo and Conference. Be part of this exciting 2-day exhibition and explore a wide range of options for your child's education from kindergarten to primary and secondary levels. The 3rd edition of the Private Schools Expo and Conference is packed with opportunities to engage, network, and discover the latest developments in Kenya's private school education sector under the theme, Nurturing Learners for a Sustainable Tomorrow. For more information or to exhibit, call Derek on 0719 300 469 or email docheng@ke.nationmedia.com.
This NBA season, watch the world's best battle it out for glory. Every crossover, every dunk, every game-winning shot. Don't miss a single moment of this explosive NBA season. Oh my God! Every weekend from October 27th to December 1st. NTV, where every game comes alive. Your ultimate home for sports.
The chapters outside of Africa focused on women getting positions on listed boards. For the Africa chapter, we're looking not just at getting women on listed boards, but also all boards.
Putting women in positions of where they can have influence because there's a crisis going on doesn't really matter. What matters is that we have capacity to deal with those crises.
And 25% is great because we're doing better than others, but 25 is still not 50.
While the regulators are great in this process, it shouldn't be a regulatory issue in 2024. It's actually an issue because women are good for business.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من
This November, 11th to the 22nd, the world's eyes turn to Baku, Azerbaijan, the biggest global event for climate action, COP29.
We have already arrived in Baku in Azerbaijan, and over the next 2 weeks we'll be giving you all the exclusive content that comes out of here, who from Kenya is attending, what our agenda is here, all the exclusive interviews. You can only get it here.
NTV is your front row seat to this United Nations Climate Conference.
Keep it locked on NTV and all other nation media platforms.
Most bankable host Brian Aselli.
And we bring you the morning fix. Shimano is in the building as promised. Yes. Every day is a different discussion on something you care about.
And we want to hear from you. That's why we want to hear your say.
So we've got star-studded guests, the people you want to hear from, the people you want to connect with, and
all the celebrities will be in studio. We'd like you to pick up that phone and have a chat with them.
Without that project, I would not have done anything else that I've done before, because it was kind of like...
Then, yeah, when I was coming to Kenya now on my route of, wanting to make music.
But Friday, guys.
Friday is where we have all the fun. There is mad fun with
Aselli, DJ E, good vibes, great conversation, artists from all over the continent and more. So keep it 96.3
Nation FM.
I want my brother completely out of the family business.
I don't know whether you're daydreaming or not, but you got the wrong person for this job.
I can't run this business forever,
Liam is the best fit for the company.
Nataka kila mtu ajue demu yako.
I don't care what you think about this, but wachana na Debbie.
Usipozingatia kilichokuleta ndani ya hii nyumba, utakuja kujuta katika maisha yako yote.
Afadhali mimi sifichi kucha zangu.
Cause mimi mwenyewe hata sielewi nini unaona kwa hiyo takataka mwanamke. I think ini through personal mami tupatia. Liam yuko, wacha kugagelele hapa, utamsha madam.
All this is because of you. Now wake up. Wake up and clear your mess.
Life kupia Kenya una deserve.
Are you losing your mind or your family?
Starting this Monday 18th at 8 p.m. only on NTV.
This is NTV.
Anderson Nyaga has been physically disabled for 15 years. He is an online marketer who lives and works in the county of Embu. He shares with this court his journey as a person with disability. Ashura Michael is deaf and is a human rights and gender inclusion advocate. She has served as the Secretary General of the Kenya National Association of the Deaf's Youth Section, as well as the Youth Fellow of the International Disability Alliance. She speaks to this court on her experience and that of other PWDs. David Ole Sankok is a Member of Parliament at the East Africa Legislative Assembly. He is physically disabled and served as a nominated member of the National Assembly representing persons with disabilities. He's also served as the chairman of the National Council of People with Disabilities between 2014 and 2017. His story and insights before this court. Harun Hassan is the Executive Director of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. Some years back, he was in a car crash which left him disabled. He shares insights as state agency position on the journey to inclusion and mainstreaming PWDs and their plight. My lords and ladyships, your court is in session. News Court, the court of public interest, prosecuting matters that matter to you. I'm Smriti Vidyarthi, standing in for Dan Mwangi in leading the prosecution of the matters before you. Your Honour, many are the times a lot is said in regard to giving support and accommodating the unique needs of persons with disabilities. Yes, a lot is said, but is enough done? Does the talk, the pronouncements, the proposals, and so on and so forth bring forth commensurate fruits? Do those who have been termed differently abled enjoy the tangible fruit of all the discoveries and discourse? Let's prosecute. This court now invites the opening submissions. Ken Nyaga takes the floor.
Justice Wanjiko, the reality of many persons living with disability is not so encouraging, and they say it inspires little hope for them. My submission to this honorable court.
One of the biggest challenge we have here is physical accessibility of public amenities. We also encounter challenges in political, accommodation. When it comes to healthcare, it's not yet good, because those of us, our brothers and sisters who live with conditions like cerebral palsy and albinism, who need very expensive drugs, cannot access them in public hospitals. Here in Embu County, they have to get them from their pockets. Besides grappling with everyday challenges of the normal cost of living that has hit Kenyans, persons with disability now, they live on an extra budget of taking care of their health. When it comes to education, special facilities for our blind brothers and sisters to go about their education, it's a problem. Those who are deaf, it's a problem. The employers are shy of employing persons with disabilities because joining their team comes at a cost. The conversation we are hoping is going to lead to inclusion that is done from a policy point of view, not this kind of tokenism inclusion. Persons with disabilities have to be brought to the decision-making tables for all these problems to go. When we talk about accessibility, for example, here in Embu County, I remember seeking services in one of the banks, and the bank does not have an operational ramp. And when I spoke to the manager told me that they did not envision a type of my client, so they are going to adjust. But a few months or almost a year down the line, they have done nothing. For persons living with disability, the thing I would want to encourage you is that life is going to become better. Of course, we've had those challenges for a long time. Before then, we had times when rights of persons with disability meant nothing to the society and the government. But let's hold on there. Things seems to be working from the county level and nationally. Things are looking good for persons with disability.
Nothing further from me, my lords and ladyships. I rest.
This court now invites Brian Mushiri to make his submissions.
Your Honor, in the spirit of getting to appreciate the experiences firsthand, it is important we get submissions of another person with disability. We now welcome Ashura Michael with Flora Atieno as the sign language interpreter. From the start, just to get to understand your day-to-day operations, how is it every day?
Honestly, we go about our normal duties, but of course with barriers. If we have a society that is free of barriers, then our lives will be better. But for now, I cannot say that we live a better life because of the barriers that we go through and the challenges that we go through on a daily basis.
Are there organizations that you go in and are not friendly to you and persons like yourself?
Yes. Right from our roads from our transport system, communication. All of these are the challenges we go through, not just the building. Sometimes people forget that some disabilities are visible, but some are not visible. And those, they have the different needs. So when the needs are not met, then it becomes a challenge. We cannot perform, especially when it comes to communication. Because the communication is the means of everything. The world is a better place because of communication. But when there's no communication, there's no information, then our life is in the dark.
From where you sit, what appeals do people like you make towards the government of Kenya?
Wow, this came at the perfect time. As this month, we are celebrating International Deaf Awareness Week. And the theme is a world where deaf people can sign everywhere, anywhere. And now, this means we have in Parliament, through Honorable Umi, we have a sign language bill. This, if it goes through, we'll have a commission of sign language who will be responsible to guide also in interpretation too. And remember also, we talk about Vision 2030, Africa Agenda. We have a disability protocol, and also our constitution, specifically Article 54. You cannot implement if some section of persons are left behind, and that's the deaf community.
Just to get to understand, on the other side of the spectrum, are there some advantages that you've seen that you've faced as a person with disability?
If you look at our constitution, it's an amazing document, which many countries doesn't recognize even sign language. Our country has recognized sign language in our constitution as a third language. This is very important for us. We have the National Council for Persons with Disabilities that is in place. We have the AGPO, 30% of persons with disability participate. And with this government, recruitment of persons with disability at a job level, then that's when we've really failed. Because we've actually seen in the nominations or in the appointments, we've not met the 5% threshold. But even in the private sector.
Your final remarks on this one?
I'll take this opportunity to tell the world, especially Kenyans, it doesn't matter the disability which we have, but let's change our attitude. Change your attitude, and then look at me, at my ability and not my disability. And then we can make the world a better place for all of us. And the government of Kenya, please support the Kenyan Sign Language Bill 2020, and also with amendments on the Act. And make sure this time, let's achieve the 5% opportunity of persons with disabilities so that we can change their lives and live together to achieve a better Kenya where all of us want to live. We cannot achieve all this without including persons with disabilities. Thank you very much.
That's it for me, Your Honor. Much obliged.
My lords, ladyships, for the avoidance of doubt and assumption, we table before this honourable court some insights and data on the matter before it. According to the World Health Organization, disability has 3 dimensions: impairment, activity limitation, and participation restrictions. Disability can affect a person's vision, movement, thinking, and memory, as well as learning, communicating, hearing, and their mental health and social relationships. Disability can be related to conditions that were present at birth or associated with developmental conditions apparent during childhood. They can also be related to an injury, such as traumatic brain injury or spinal cord injury, or associated with a long-standing condition such as diabetes. Disability can also be progressive. Numerous challenges arise for people with disability, and some of them include health inequity, lack of education, inaccessible transportation, and the challenge of stigma. In Kenya, the national government is obliged to, among others, develop policies for persons with disabilities, as well as provide usable infrastructure, promote inclusion, and allocate resources.
Your Honour, again, for the avoidance of doubt, this court must be seized of the fact that it is not all gloom for the persons with disability. Some have made great strides and enjoy privileged platforms. This court now invites to the dock David Sankok. How are you differently abled?
I became a person with disability through a doctor's injection at the age of 12. My aspiration was, when I grow up after circumcision, I'll be a Moran, but that was not to be, because at the age of 12, I got pneumonia. I was taken to hospital. At midnight, the doctor was a bit asleep. He was waking up. When he woke up, I think 5 times, I don't know what happened. He injected me, and I became well of pneumonia, but the following day my right leg was paralyzed. From that, then my ambition had to change, because I cannot trade. I cannot look after livestock. So I had to concentrate on studies, especially to go and study at least medicine to know what happened.
Where did you find your support system?
First of all, from my parents. They encouraged me to go to school and to be serious. I now go to interact better with my schoolmates. And that is why when I became the chairman of the National Council for Persons with Disability, I wanted us to change the narrative from the sympathy model, the charity model of persons with disability, to the opportunity model, to the symbiotic model. I wanted to change special schools to integrated education, because I was in an integrated system of education. I was in the school for everybody. There was a friend of mine. He knew I cannot carry buckets of water because of my physical disability. But when I sit down, I can wash clothes. So he will go and carry the water, bring the water to me, and give me all the clothes. The only problem is that he used to bring all, underline all. So I used to wash. So we learn how to survive as a society, even if I'm a person with disability, but I'm able differently.
In your view, what more needs to be done in Kenya to support people with disability?
The first thing is you, the people of the media, together with our leaders. Let us first of all educate the community and educate persons with disability themselves. By educating persons with disability, we have to tell them the truth, that seek opportunities, not sympathy. That disability is not a qualification. For you to be able to be employed, for you to be able to be nominated, you must, first of all, have the requisite qualification for whatever that is needed. The other thing is for the society to take us not as disabled, but as people who are able differently. Give us opportunity. I can give you an example. Yes, you had Ashura Michael here. She may not be a journalist like you or a news anchor because of the disability, the challenges. But certainly there's something they can do.
What about the basics, the everyday basics that perhaps frustrate the lives of people with disabilities? For example, access to buildings or smooth pavements along the road to allow wheelchairs to move smoothly. What is your take on that?
Now that one is for the government. The first thing that we did when I was the chairman National Council for Persons with Disability is to try and mitigate the effect or challenges that come with disability. One of them is that I buy my crutches. These are my legs. You did not buy your legs. So I don't pay taxes as a person with disability so that I can use that tax to buy the legs that I require daily. I also import a car duty-free because a car for me is a necessity, is not a luxury, is a basic need. We have also advocated for all buildings, including NTV, Nation Center, being accessible to persons with disability. I came and I was taken to where I can access the lift very fast and come up all to the studio without any effect. Unfortunately, in 2015, we were supposed to have 100% accessibility to buildings and accessibility to the transport sector. As the chairman of the National Council for Persons with Disability that time, I will have taken so many buildings to court. I will have closed so many circles of matatus. But I have also to balance between scaring away investors and implementing what need to be done.
But why wasn't it done?
Because the transport sector and the built environment is mostly in the hands of private sector in Kenya. Unlike in the West, where the transport sector is mainly in the hands of the government. The only thing that is in the hands of the government is the SGR, which is 100% accessible. So now scaring away these investors who are employing hundreds of jobless youth, I have to balance. So what we did was first to go to where architects and civil engineers are trained so that we can introduce a unit, a study unit, in the importance of accessibility to the environment.
If you were to rate where Kenya stands in terms of support for persons with disability, between 1 to 10, with 1 being the poorest and 10 being the best, how would you rate Kenya?
8.5.
8.5.
And I have no apologies to make, because in Africa, we were, before 2013, we were actually not rated at all. But now we are number 1. In the world globally, we are almost number 15 because of what we have given persons with disability as a government of Kenya that is not given elsewhere in the world. Again, here in Kenya, persons with disability access to government contracts through what we call AGPO, access to government procurement opportunities. There is a lot that we have achieved apart from what is in the hands of the private sector, like accessibility.
The last census gave people with albinism to be 9,729. So if you only cover 3,000, where are the 6,000 benefiting from? And you can hear even from my colleagues here, they don't actually get opportunities for employment. So we still have a long way for people with albinism to be accepted. If these parents of the young children here still find it difficult to get employment, to be accepted by their husbands, to be accepted by their families. We have made progress because at least there's something to talk about it. The government allocates about 100 million for everything to do with albinism. Awareness creation, skin cancer treatment, protective clothing, and also supporting the National Council in its administrative role.
Justice Wanjiku, this court will now hear the submissions of the state from the Executive Director of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, Harun Hassan.
Disability is not a function of national government or county government. It's a business of everybody. And one of the key things that we have discussed with the county government is issue of data. Do we have accurate data for purpose of planning in this country? So we urge county government to come up with laws and policies, to ensure that the issue is not just for PR, it's not just for, but I must commend some counties that have done very well. Even issue of disability, more than 10 or 20 years ago, we are not openly talk about it as a right like we're doing right now. Now it is a right, because even, like ministries, department and agency, through performance contracting mechanism, they report to the National Council the extent of disability compliance. It's a right, you see. Now we are pushing that to the counties now.
Disability mainstreaming. The value you assign is a sign of the language you sign, that of humanity, or that of checking a box, something you sign on this. Do you co-sign, or are you on a different tangent, choosing the opposite over the adjacent? Disability is not a doom sentence. We need to see it with a renewed essence through new lenses until the skew lessens. For instance, have you provided a ramp for wheelchairs? Or do you lack the will? Chair, CEO, minister? Is your talk to support real, or are you just really sinister? Have you shielded those around you from mental breakdowns? Or will you be found wanting if we did a shakedown? Until everyone who needs to do enough does enough, many will be stuck in a rut, have it rough, ugly, tough, hardly laugh. This is tragic stuff. All the big talk, they will term it bluff. Your house of promises will crumble when the big bad wolf will huff and puff. Do you, as an employer, do your part for your staff? Or is their hunger for inclusivity badly starved? Maybe we should be seeing your hands in cuffs. Your car may have a cute, relevant bumper sticker, but are your actions drivers of ramped up stigma? Do your part in aiding the integration in operations include those with disabilities in your consultations? This is not about checking a box, but improving lives. Sadly, some are simply proving lies. Disability is not inability. This may have been said over and over, but it is still the solid truth over and over. And at this point, we remind you, you be the judge. News Court is over.
This is NTV.
This week on Churchill Show.
Churchill, every time he comes, the first thing he says, you must have been a beautiful baby.
Tell them you must have been a beautiful baby.
But yeah.
She's your lady, your business partner. Hata baba yangu na mama yangu walianza hivyo.
Ukitaka kujua mwaka ya demu, unazaga tu randomly kutusima mwaka. Na mademu wa 90s ubievaje? Mimi watu wa 1.
New Panadol Extra Soluble dissolves twice as fast versus standard paracetamol tablets.
This November 11th to the 22nd, the world's eyes turn to Baku, Azerbaijan, the biggest global event for climate action, COP29.
We have already arrived in Baku in Azerbaijan, and over the next 2 weeks we'll be giving you all the exclusive content that comes out of here, who from Kenya is attending, what our agenda is here, all the exclusive interviews. You can only get it here.
NTV is your front row seat to this United Nations Climate Conference.
Keep it locked on NTV and all other nation media platforms.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated GE. It is therefore suitable for general family viewing.
Welcome to Pishi Bomba. My name is Claire Karatu. This is a show that brings you easy recipes that are simply delicious. Now, kids are on holiday, meaning we need to cook a lot more. And of course, it's the holiday season, meaning we need to cook a lot more. So what we're doing on this episode is we're showing you a simple recipe that you can be able to make with your children, for your children, at home during this season. Let's find out who's joining us in the pneumatic kitchen and what it is we're going to be making today. Now, we have a very special guest joining us on set today. Please, let's welcome JP onto our set. JP, welcome! Wow, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so excited to have you here today. Yeah, I better be excited. All right, JP, I'm going to ask you to wash your hands real quick, and then we'll get to know a little bit about you, what you do, and what it is we're making today, okay? Or rather, I'll tell you, okay? Please go ahead and wash your hands. Now, I'm so excited because of the fact that we are in the holiday period, which means that our kids are at home, they need to snack, they need to eat, and so they'll be getting hungry quite often. These are some of easy recipes that you can be able to make at home, or your kids can be able to make at home. I love to make these with my kids as well. So JP, please let me get you an apron on you. You look fantastic. Please tell us a little bit about yourself. I do know you are an actor.
Hi guys. My name is John Tista. I'm 10 years old and my passion is acting and I love it so much. And I want to learn cooking.
Oh, look at that! Now we have a TV star because he is going to be a host, isn't it?
Yeah.
A host for an upcoming show. What show is it?
G3 on NTV.
Yes, that's right. G3 on NTV has a new host and it's going to be JP. This beautiful face is going to be on your screen with amazing content, I know, for your show as well. And now he's in my set today, learning how to make a delicious snack. JP, please join me. So what we're going to be making today is, I call it pizza imbo. Okay? It's what? Pizza imbo.
Pizza imbo.
Pizza imbo. It's like a pizza, but it's not a pizza, and it tastes like a pizza. Exactly, because we're not making the dough, we are making the base from bread, okay? Now what we have here is we've got bread, some mozzarella cheese, some oregano, salt, some black pepper, garlic powder, some Hungarian salami, optional. We've got some tomatoes. Now this is where the magic happens. You want to use ketchup, okay? And then we've got some small sausages, the ones that are ready-made. All right, now let's start. The best part. A rolling pin for you, sir. What we do here on the show is I cook, I show you how to do it, and you do it, okay? I love the excitement. Please go ahead and grab yourself a slice of bread. You can decide to place it right on your counter, just like that. You can decide to leave your crust on, or you can cut the crust off, but the crust gives it a little bit of a nice crunch, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to roll our bread nice like a flat chapati. Roll it nice like a flat chapati. Well done, well done. JP, have you cooked before?
Only eggs.
Only eggs. Let me tell you, that's not a small thing. Learning how to make eggs is fantastic because you can get burnt, the oil can splash on you. So that's not only eggs. Eggs is a good thing. So do you like it scrambled or fried?
Scrambled.
Scrambled is always delicious. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to roll the rest of our pizza base, which is the bread, and you want it to just nice and flat. Don't worry if the crust sort of tear off. That's absolutely fine. So JP, we're going to keep going until we finish these slices of bread, okay? Now, we don't have cookie cutters, so unfortunately, we're just going to have to have squares, right? That's a shape, isn't it? It's a shape, you know, so it's fine. All right, now JP is doing a fantastic job. You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, now we are almost done with our bread. Almost, right? Almost. Almost. These are so good. Well done. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place the pieces, and maybe you can help me. That would be great. Because this is what you're going to be doing. We have our oven going at 150 degrees, nice and low temperature, because we're not baking anything. So we just want to...
Can we put on top of another?
No, just put it right over there, because at the end of the day, if we put it on top of another, it ends up being a sandwich. We're not making a sandwich, we're making pizza imbo, okay? All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to grab our spoons. Here you go. And basically, I'll do the top ones. You can do the bottom ones. If you just want to get a nice dollop of ketchup, very small, okay? Not too big, because you don't want it to be soaking. You don't want it to be soggy as well. So we just want to spread that onto our bread, okay? Could you do that, please, on yours? Now, this is a process that basically, when I make it, people would ask, what did you do to this? It's just ketchup. Good quality ketchup does the trick. It's got the sweetness, it's got the tanginess that you would need in your sauce. But then what we'll do now is we're going to enhance the flavor. Well done. Now give that a lovely spread all over that pizza base, okay? I'll wait for you and then we're going to do the next step. Now, if you're just joining us, welcome. We are with JP, and basically what we're doing is we are making pizza. Some form of pizza using ingredients that you can have in your very own kitchen. It's the holiday period, meaning the kids are at home and the eating is a lot more. Of course, if you'd like to be on the show, or if your kids would like to be on the show, all you have to do is WhatsApp the number at the bottom of the screen. And of course, you can catch up on every single episode that we've done here on Pishi Bomba. That's by simply going to ntvkenya.co.ke. Well done. JP is done here. All right, now, what I mean by enhance the flavor, that looks fantastic, is we're going to just put a little sprinkle of some oregano, okay? Just a little. Can you see how little I'm putting? Just a little sprinkle of it. Well done. And then next, we're going to add just a little bit of garlic powder as well. Go ahead. Just a little. Okay, I see you being oregano bay. All right. And what we're going to do is just a little sprinkle of that garlic powder as well. Not too much, because I tend to and can put a lot of garlic in everything. That's the perfect sprinkle, actually. Did you see my little sprinkle of garlic? Can we put the exact? Very little, very little, very little, very little, very little, very little. Well done. Well done. And then now, this is the part that most people, I guess, do the opposite way, where you put your condiments before your cheese. But the best thing to do is put your cheese first and then your condiments, because these are going to marry with the flavors that we've sort of incorporated onto our tomato base, okay? Go ahead and grab some cheese, and then we're just going to spread it. How much cheese do you like? Do you like it stretchy? I love a lot of cheese.
Maybe when it's melted, so it can.
I know, they call it the cheese pool, right? Yeah. Every time you're eating, if you don't get that cheese pool, just put it in the microwave, okay? And then make sure it's warm again, and then you can have the cheese pool.
Okay.
All right, now we're done with our cheese, okay?
Yeah.
Now we get to our condiments. Now, JP, this is where you get as creative as you want. If you've got pineapples, if you've got chicken, we just wanted to make something simple. So for me, I'll start with some salami. I love me some salami. What are you going to start with?
Tomatoes.
Oh, you like tomatoes? Okay, yes. Please go ahead and add your tomatoes. You can spread it across evenly, and I'll show you what else you can do. I'm just going to roughly cut my salami. Okay, that looks great. You can do a different flavor for this one, but let me tell you a secret when it comes to tomatoes. You don't want to leave them like that, because it ends up being bland. So what you want to do is you want to season them ever so slightly, okay? Place a little bit of salt on each tomato. Then that way, every bite that you get is full of flavor. You don't have any bland areas, okay? That looks wonderful. I'm just gonna add just a little bit more, just to make sure that they're well seasoned. Okay, a little bit of oregano as well, just to finish it off. And a dash of that garlic powder, just a little bit, not too much, okay? All right, what flavor are you gonna do the next one? Yes, that's a good choice. I am busy here and I haven't even finished mine. JP is almost done with his flavors. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit more of the salami. We're just gonna finish with the condiments, and then I guess we'll pop them into the oven.
Yeah.
All right. Here you go.
Salami.
Oh, you'd like some salami? Yes, please, please, please. Yes, some peppers. Of course, you can just stretch and get them, okay? Feel free, darling, feel free. There you go. Accident. It's okay. Oh, remember for the peppers, we also need to add just a little bit of salt for them as well, okay? Just a little bit. I'll do it for you, don't worry.
And garlic powder?
You can. I mean, that's absolutely fine. That works as well. Can never go wrong with garlic, let me tell you that. I'm obsessed with garlic powder. What are you obsessed with? What do you always put in your food? Don't say ketchup.
No.
Oh, okay. All right, now JP has finished his pizzas. I think it's art, like I'm telling him, perfection. I love the fact that he decided which condiments and which ingredients goes on what. Yes, JP? Is it that right? You decided everything.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to go with these flavors? A mix of everything, so you can taste every flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay. All right, now we're excited to pop this into the oven. And of course, JP has, I guess, something special lined up for us. But before that, let's go on a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I'll have the usual on the rocks, double.
I'll have whatever he's having.
Real recognize real. No added sugar, no preservatives. 100% real fruit.
Let me tell you something about sights and sounds of Little Hill. It's very quiet, and unless you're with company, the only footsteps utasikia ni zako.
This week on the Chama Show.
Wazi.
Nasikia wewe pia ni chama.
Kabisa, unajua mimi ni chairman wa chama za Kenya, chama chama.
Na nasikia wewe ndio unaweka pesa.
Vizuri.
No, the chairman is not supposed to keep money. It is the work of the treasurer.
Tunaendea chai sana kwa wingi kwa sababu tunakuja mapema. Na tukikuja mapema mke hawezi kupika chai hiyo wakati wa mapema kwa sababu labda kama yeye atashughulikia watoto waende shule.
Catch this and more on Sunday at 4:30 p.m.
Where did you come from?
Hamlet. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
My name is Mariam Bishar.
Most bankable host Brian Aselli.
And we bring you the Morning Fix. Shimano is in the building as promised.
Yes.
Every day is a different discussion on something you care about.
And we want to hear from you. That's why we want to hear your say.
So we've got star-studded guests, the people you want to hear from, the people you want to connect with, and
all the celebrities will be in studio. We'd like you to pick up that phone and have a chat with them.
Without that project, I would not have done anything else that I've done before because it was kind of like...
Then, yeah, when I was coming to Kenya now on my route of, wanting to make music.
But Friday, guys.
Friday is where we have all the fun. There is mad fun with
Aseli, DJ E, good vibes, great conversation, artists from all over the continent and more. So keep it 96.3
Nation FM.
Welcome back to Pishi Bomba. We have been in the kitchen with Master Chef JP. He's done a fantastic job here. And what we're making, or what we've made, is bread pizza, aka pizza imbo, right? We've made some delicious flavors. Of course, you at home can be able to recreate this in your very own kitchen. If you've missed a step, all you have to do is go to ntvkenya.co.ke or WhatsApp us the number at the bottom of the screen if you'd like to be on the show, right? However, JP has done some delicious flavors, and now our oven is nice and hot. We're going to pop this into the oven. May I help you with that?
Yes.
JP had asked me if he's going to use the mittens. Why did you want to use the mittens?
So you can put them in.
Okay. But also because you said they are
cute.
Cute. You said they're cute Christmas themed. So we're going to use them after when it's hot, okay? Because now it's not very hot. We can just hold it. I'll help you pop them in. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop them right at the top. Slightly. Right there. And what's going to happen is the cheese is going to melt. Our condiments are going to get nice and, toasty. Our salami will harden slightly. We've made some more during the break just so that we can pop these in. And then we're going to close it up. Now, it takes literally 10 to 15 minutes because you're not cooking the dough. You're not cooking the dough, so it's going to take a short time. Now, JP, if you can see the sadness in his eyes, he's trying to channel his inner acting, okay? Because I did tell him that we're going to do something as we wait for our pizzas to get ready. Now, JP is an actor, meaning that he needed to learn how to act very many different things at such a young age, yeah?
Yeah.
What made you capable or able to act out these many different things? Is it practice?
Yeah.
What else?
I went to an acting school.
Okay. Yes.
So it built my confidence.
That's right.
And the teachers are very friendly.
Oh, that's nice. Big shout out to the teachers who are friendly and build children's confidence in acting, right?
Yeah.
All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell JP to come on this side, please. And since I'm going to make it simple, okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to act out emotions.
Okay.
I'll say an emotion and then you basically act it out, okay? All right. JP, now please give me the emotion of being extremely excited. I love that. Now give me the emotion of being sad. What do you think about when you act sadness?
I don't know.
Just sad things, right? And I know when I was talking to him earlier, he was just like, hold on, let me cue my tears. And I'm just like, to have them on cue, that's fantastic. All right, now let me see the emotion of, what emotion do you want to act out? Maybe you can act an emotion you'd like.
Scared.
Scared? Okay, let's see scared. Oh, that's really good, JP. High five. Do you know, I like that version of scared because there's a scared for when you're really less startled. If somebody comes like, wah, and you're like, but then this one is more of like you're frightened and like you're moving away from this thing that is frightening you. That was really good. JP, what advice would you give children who want to learn how to act?
You can go to a talent school. That's where I built my confidence. And here I am today.
Yes, here he is today. Now, JP, what are some of the, I think, films or series that you've acted in Kenya? And what role were you playing?
Okay. I've acted in many adverts and Shanga.
Wow, that's fantastic. All right, thank you so much for your brilliant acting skills. I loved to watch that. And of course, we wish you all the success in your acting career. All right? High five. Now, we're going to wait for our pizzas to get ready. And then, JP, our favorite part is the eating part. So we're just going to wait for these to get ready. They are actually almost ready. Of course, you can catch up on the step-by-step by simply going to ntvkenya.co.ke. And if you'd like to learn something or you'd like your kids to learn something on this show, you can simply WhatsApp us on the number below the screen. Let's wait for our pizzas to get ready, then get to eating. JP, please act out a scene for us in Shanga. I think there was one that you were acting out because you had.
Okay, so episode 2, I was in school, and
Yes.
then my mother forgot my birthday,
Oh,
so I was
no.
making a scene.
Oh no. Okay, how did it go?
So, for example, you are the teacher, and there are the imaginary students.
Yes.
There. And now I'm gonna say it's my birthday, and we're making school.
Okay.
We're making noise in
Okay,
school.
right.
Yeah. And then the principal come to my office right now.
Okay, let's do this. And what we're going to do is we are going to wait for them to cool down. Then we get to tasting. Which one is your side? I feel like that's your side, yes?
Yeah, this is my
Be
side.
careful. Very hot.
Ooh.
Very hot. Have you burnt yourself?
No.
No, okay. It's quite hot, so we're going to wait for it to just cool down.
And remember these little tomatoes.
Yes, the tomato paste. The tomato, I mean dollops. All right, now, JP, I am going to help you, please, if that's okay. Which one would you like to taste first? The one of yours?
This one.
That's the one. Okay. We're going to grab it straight onto... Okay, it's got cheese stuck. Cheese stuck. We're going to grab it, and then I'm going to cut it for you so that you can be able to have a nice, easy time biting. Okay?
Yes.
There you go. Go ahead and grab one piece, whichever. Yeah, because I don't want to. Yes, there you go. All right, please let me know. Be careful, the cheese is still a bit hot. You can go straight for the middle. Why are you going for the corner? Go straight for the middle with all the cheese. Yes. What do you think? Oop, 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 oop. Is it good? Okay, you can pull out your cheese then. Do you like it? Does it taste like pizza? It does? Mm-hmm. Do you want to try another one?
Mm-hmm.
Which one would you like? This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you going to finish that?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're going to make it for your sisters and your siblings?
Yes.
Cheese pool. That's that cheese pool that you said you like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, JP. Now you are a master chef at making your bread pizza. And thank you with the seasoning bay that you did there. I'm going to go ahead and have this in a bit. Of course, I will be enjoying a lot of it. JP, let me get you a drink just to wash that down. All right. These are all yours, so please enjoy yourself completely, right? And thank you so much for making time. And of course, a big thank you to Mom for making time to have you on this show as well.
Mm-hmm.
I loved having you here.
Love you, Mom.
Yeah, thank you, Mom. That is so adorable. All right, JP, are you going to tell our viewers your handle?
Okay, on Instagram is Davy Kabuga, and then on TikTok is Kabuga5.
There you go. Please make sure you follow because I know you have some amazing lined up things for us, right?
Yes.
Amazing things lined up for us. All right, now, thank you so much to you, our viewers, for joining us on this episode. I do hope you enjoy making this with your kids. Of course, a big shout out to everybody who has sent pictures on the WhatsApp number of the things that they've been able to recreate from our show, which you can catch up on every episode on ntvkenya.co.ke. That's it for tonight here on Pishi Bomba. happy cooking. Bye.
Bye.
All right, stand by. You're rolling.
Ooh, wait for them to cool down. Then we get to tasting.
Which one was your side? I feel like that. There you go. What do you think? Oop, 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 oop.
I want my brother completely out of the family business.
I don't know whether you're daydreaming or not, but you got the wrong person for this job.
I can't run this business forever, you know?
Liam is the best fit for the company.
Nataka kila mtu ajue mimi ni demu yako.
I don't care what you think about this, but wachana na Debbie.
Usipozingatia kilichokuleta ndani ya hii nyumba, utakuja kujuta katika maisha yako yote.
Afadhali mimi sifichi kucha zangu.
Cause mimi mwenyewe hata sielewi nini unaona kwa hiyo takataka ya mwanamke. I think ini through personal mami tupatia.
Liam, yuko. Wacha kupiga kelele hapa. Utamsha madam.
All this is because of you. Now wake up. Wake up and clear your mess.
Life kupia Kenya una deserve.
Are you losing your mind or your family?
Starting this Monday 18th at 8 p.m. only on NTV.
If you fall short, there is a way, hallelujah. There's a higher merit that comes and imparts you a favor, and people will wonder how and why they are dealing with you the way they are dealing with you. They have developed a liking towards you, and they don't know why. Something has changed, which is already sweeping across this place. Hallelujah, I'm telling you, it's on you right now, hallelujah.
Where did you come from?
Come with me. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Want to know the biggest story of the week? Do not worry. The Weekly Review got you covered. For in-depth analysis of politics, business, governance, as well as social issues, the Weekly Review covers it all. For well-researched, exclusive and investigative content, read the Weekly Review every Sunday in the Sunday Nation.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. Conversation yetu ya leo ni ya security. Everyone is talking about that, the rise of insecurity in the country. Our two guests, one of them is a self-made security consultant, anaitwa Mr. McLeod, na mnamjua kama the truth watchdog, is in the house. Waji. Asante sana. Alafu guest wetu wa pili, nimesema is a friend of the show, third time appearing, na is always pia good vibes. Former GSU officer, now a security consultant, George Musamali is in the house. Sawa, karibu sana. Ni poa sana kwenda straight to the point. Umesensitize wase sana juu ya story ya Ngeta. Umekuwa ukiongelea pande zote mbili, kuongelea side ya makarao na kuongelea side ya Mathegi. What inspired you? Because unikali victim wa Ngeta. Tukiongea na audience wetu before walikuwa nasema ati sijui kuna vile wawe kambao kwa mkono wanafinya nayo mtu shingo. Nimeangalia shingo yako sio ni space ya mbao.
Nimezaliwa kwa Ngeta, wacha tuseme hivyo. Because unajua neighbor wako ni mwizi ukiwa mtu mdogo, alafu na kama una grow mnaanza mpaka kuiba naye kama amezeeka, sasa ndo unakuwa mtu wa mkono. Okay? So
mtu wa mkono literally.
Yeah, so but at the same time unajua kuna zile vitu zenye unafika mahali hata wewe kama binadamu unaona hii mazepa limefika sasa, hii ni mbaya, unakosea. Then pia kulikuwa na rende fulani tulikuwa naitaka kitambo sana, 42 Brothers. Then hiyo rende pia nikakuwa driver wa Mathegi. Juu ulikuwa sasa ukitaka kushika gun ndio upate hiyo chance ya kushika ama hata kuona hiyo gun, lazima uanze uko chini. Uwezi huwa mse, hauwezi enda kuiba solo, lazima ukuwe na wazae. Lakini si eti ni wazae mayutu wabigi kutushinda. Sababu by then ilikuwa I think I was 12 years. Nikianza sasa mradi tulikuwa naenda kuiba pale fulani hapo hivyo Adams Arcade, ukipika inaitwa Jamu iko hapo tu nyuma kiasi. So hizo ndio base tulikuwa naanziaga, but mimi nilikuwa tu driver. Then ika grow nikajua wizi like nobody's business, because at the end of the day ulikuwa ukipatiwa sema so mbili, hiyo ilikuwa the mob. Nda watch movie, nda kula ngumu, kulikuwa na Donald's tungine hapo. Alafu unaweza kula pia choma ya 10 bob na watch. Yaani hiyo 200 ilikuwa the mob. So ilifika place yenye nilikuwa nachiki sasa wasee wanaanza kuondolewa. Unaona? Mmoja by then ilikuwa inaitwa Flying Squad ama walikuwa nakuja na tu Volkswagen to yellow. Walikuwa nasikia tu gari imepita pa. Vijana kichungi. Hapo mimi nikaponea siku moja.
Walikuwa na shoot msee akiwa in the act ama bora tu unakaa.
Asa wakuanga naoni. Walikuwa yani before come washa survey hiyo area. Wanajua mko ngapi, mnakamigi saa ngapi, naona kama wanaletea bait. Bait ilikuwa kama demo. Unajua bait demo kibeba tu kibeti hivyo napima. Unajua hii ni coffee. Coffee demo apiga nduru. By the time anapiga nduru simu na kibeti imeondokea. Unaona?
So mlikuwa mnaibia madem na coffee but si ile wanapenda.
Kuna mwanamke hiyo ufungui mkono. Lakini kuna mwanaume naona mchapa masikio anasikia mastaa. Kuna kasauti huko kanatoka ti. Ako mwanaume wanaropoka kila kitu mpaka jina yake aine yenye zaidi. But ilifika tu place nikaanza kuona venye sana angushwa. Then kajua tu next ni mimi. Jua sasa walikuwa nakuja sema umelipuliwa moja kama ya mbavu hivi. Alafu na kama unasikia baadaye wamekugonga hakuna kitu tunaweza do. Unaongezewa zingine kaa ine.
Na bado mlikuwa mnaona hizo na bado unarudi miradi tena.
Sasa si pesa. Unajua pesa kwa nakashatani fulani. Nakwambia kaniaje bro, leo tu hawezi date. Kaa huko date jana, leo hizi. So unasikia tu acha nijaribu tena. Kuna position mbili za kuwepa ukiwa Thegi. Either uende Ndonyo ama uende Mwea.
Ndonyo ni wapi?
Ndonyo Ndegoreti. Okay, so hizo places kuna kuaga na place unakuja tu unajifanya wewe ni boy unataka job kama kuchunga ng'ombe ama kuchunga field ya mchele. Huko hivyo utafutuagi. Lakini ungekuwa hapa mjini asa walikuwa na kusmoke hata ujifiche wapi.
As a security consultant, you will hold a different opinion. Kama unasikia Truth Watchdog akisema ati alikuwa anaona mtu anapigwa risasi na bado kesho ataenda mradi. Is that really a solution?
Ni lazima tuangalie historia. Where did we start? Unajua stories of extrajudicial killings, people are talking about them, lakini hawajui historia hii mambo yalianzia wapi. Na hii mambo ilianza kitambo. 76 kulikuwa na msel toka Uganda anaitwa Patrick Walimbwa. Uganda had a special force or a special unit before Kenya. So when Amin was toppled, Patrick Walimbwa alikuwa kwa ile ilikuwa inaitwa SRB, State Research Bureau kule. Ndio kama SSU yetu. Akavuka Kenya na bunduki zake na kikosi chake. Walianza kuangaisha watu from Busia to Nairobi. That time. Na I remember nikiwa bado kijana mdogo waliua a forester pale inaitwa Tarbo in Eldoret. Na by the time police wana assemble waende kule, wamefika Eldoret wameua muhindi anaitwa Sagu. So in that process mmoja wao alipigwa risasi na kauliza wale makarao, mnyimbe nipiga mimi, mmepata Patrick? Wakauliza Patrick nani? Akawaambia anaitwa Patrick Walimbwa. Now when they did their research, they realized kwamba huyu ni hatari, haezi patikana. So Rift Valley PPO had to assemble police from all stations kuja Eldoret kuinda Patrick Walimbwa.
One man.
Na wakati huo ndio nilisikia bunduki inaitwa Scorpion made in Czechoslovakia. Kwa mara ya kwanza hata Wakenya walikuwa polisi wa Kenya walikuwa wanatembeanga na zile za mbao wakati huo. How do you face such a person? Okay. Alikuja akauzwa na demo hapa Kangemi, akauziwa Patrick Shaw. Ndio Patrick Shaw akamua. That is the history of extrajudicial killings in Kenya. Ikaja mjamaa anaitwa Wakinyonga akapigwa. Kenyatta mwenyewe, Kenyatta 1 alitangaza akasema mwizi wa benki wakati huo kina huyu aliandika My Life in Crime kina Kiriamiti walikuwa wamezidi. Akasema mwizi wa benki akipatikana apigwe risasi. Waona? Tukavuka, mimi nikaandika kwa kikosi 1990. Tukiwa pale Ruaraka asubuhi tunapata barua imeandikwa imetupwa kwa gate. Nasemekana kuna maafisa 4 wahame Nairobi. Nani wameandika? Washosho, Wanugu na Rasta.
Wamewapea warning
wahame. It was that serious. Katika ile mambo ya kujipanga panga hii tutakabiliana na jamaa vipi? Squad kaya jamaa ilipigiwa mlango kubwa.
Squad kaya
wale jamaa walikuwa wametajwa 4, mmoja alikubali kwenda. Siwezi taja jina lake. Alisema hii Nairobi kama ni hivi acha mimi nihame. Akaondolewa. The other 3 as we speak they are nursing gunshot wounds. Gari ilipigwa risasi pale mlango kubwa ndio ikaonekana hapana.
The thugs want makarao wahamishwe.
GSU hata si makarao kawaida, wreck company in fact.
Na vile hawakuhamishwa wakawapigia hapo.
Waliwapigia mlango kubwa, ambush. Wali survive. Ndio ikatangazwa ikasemekana now dead or alive tunataka Rasta, Wanugu na Washosho. Hapo ndio tukaanzisha sasa flying squad. Na hatukuanzisha na makarao kawaida, tulitoa watu wreck company kuwinda wale wase. And I remember sometimes nikiwa training nikaenda Magadi. Tukiwa mahali naitwa Kiserian, tuko mahali tunajivinjari, hawa jamaa wakaingia. Sisi wenyewe tulitoroka.
You admit that mlitoka mbio?
Tulitoka mbio. Tulitokea mlango ya nyuma tukaenda. Because sasa wametupata sisi tuko tu. Na wakituangalia macho ilipoonana hivi, tukajua wamegundua sisi ni nani.
Na mnajuana?
Ukiangalia tu unajua hawa. Na sisi tulipoona tukajua si ndio huyu ule wanted. Wakati walipiga kona sisi pia tukapiga kona. Hatungekubali hiyo maneno. It was that serious. So when we talk about extrajudicial killing, lazima tuiangalie in 3 angles. 1, kuna use. Manake kama vile huyu anasema hawa vijana haungeweza kuwakamata, Wanugu hangeweza kukamatika. Number 2, misuse ambayo ndio tunazungumzia sasa. Alafu kuna ile abuse. Wale jamaa wakifika pale sasa inakuwa hasa wao they become a law unto themselves. They do what they want. Ndio unasikia huyu anakuambia walikuwa wakikuja hawakupei nafasi. Unapigwa, umelala chini, umekuwa disarmed lakini they still come and eliminate you. Hiyo ndio inakuwa inaleta shida sasa. Kwa hivyo hii sheria it's there, it's governed because the law is very clear. What we call kwa sheria Criminal Procedure Code CPC unaambiwa justifiable instances of using a firearm. Moja ni gani? Ni lazima uelewe.
Wezi hawana justifiable use.
Wezi hawana justifiable. Manake yake kupata basi ashakupata. Ukiresist ndio hivyo unasikia kuna kofi mara 2.
Yes.
Mimi nikipewa hiyo moja peke yake hata hiyo ndogo.
You're just being polite. Wewe unajua si inside out. Sasa ingine hata kuna video nilikuwa naona umepiga picha unasema huyu ni mwizi na huyu ni mwizi. Unaweza wa map out. Right? By kuharibu trades za business. Aren't you a target?
If I'm only one soul that is a target, and then we say 40 million Kenyans, come and shoot me. Bro, how does it feel to wake up in the morning afraid of your life that you might not go back to your wife?
Okay.
So where is the fear? Is it the fear in this one soul or the fear of the nation? We have to see the bigger picture here. Hakuna freedom will come free. You have to pay a price. And if I'm that price, then I'm serving my plate. Okay? Because I want to come out of my house and I want to know that my child knows my dad is going to work. Hata kama sina job. And he will come back. Na hata kama na simu, na hata kuja na makzameno ama kisu. So that is what we have to see. Like, how many Kenyans will we sacrifice in the name of polisi watafanya kazi.
Okay.
Na sisi tunaangalia wenye wanaibiwa, mwenye anaibiana kuna mtu anajua kwake. Tusidanganye, anajua familia yake. Ofisa wanazunguka huko akitafuta huyu msee. Wanasema, huyu msee unajua ukitaka kama utaki msee kufanya mbaya, kwa beshte ya mwizi bro. Hakuna siku ile mwizi ataikuwa beshte yako. Hiyo usiaidanganywa. Hata heri ofisa kuitisha 200 ya kuui. Unaona? Huyu jamaa atakuitisha 200 na kuue. So what is costly? Okay. Going the way of the police ama going the way of the thieves?
Is it justified for someone to steal because they don't have food? Ama is that a factor inakuwa considered kwa security?
The end does not justify the means. Kwa hivyo kama wewe ni mhalifu, wewe ni mhalifu. Na ukipatikana, watu wanaweza deal na kisheria, na saizi wa Kenya mahali umefika ile feeling wako nayo ni mob injustice. Nothing is justifiable. Manake si mimi naamka naenda natoka nje naenda na hustle natafutia mtoto wangu. Wewe umeketi huko, umekula jaba, unaniongojea. Mimi nikuje ukisema Joe ndio ule. Uniangukie. I mean, I'm talking about things that I've seen. I can talk about people that have lost their lives. Kopro Turunya alipigwa risasi hapa town. Kuna Musime alipigwa risasi hapa Hel Salasi Avenue. People wale yani msee ametoka job, ametoka asubuhi mnasema wameenda job, jioni hawarudi. Ile kitu mnakuja tulikuwa nasomewanga signal. So and so. Circumstances hizi. Seronei, he was shot 6 times hapa Buru. Uelewa? Kwa hivyo hakuna jinsi ile tunaweza sema crime can be justified in whatever sense. Na ndiko sababu kule
ni namna hiyo. Si ni namna hiyo. Na nuncio mi bahasha yangu ni ya white sio ya brown ile ulikuwa unasema. Yangu haina mambo mingi, ni zawadi kidogo tu ya rafiki. Si ndio? Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde na Mungu aendelee kulinda taifa letu la Kenya. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana rais wetu aliyestaafu. It is good to see you, sir, looking good. We are praying for you so that you can also enjoy your retirement and continue supporting our country and supporting all of us. At this juncture, it is my singular honor and privilege to request that we be upstanding as we welcome His Excellency President William Ruto to come and address us. Welcome, Mr. President.
Asanteni sana, tafadhali tuketi chini. Your Eminence John Cardinal Njue, Your Excellency Huberto, the Nuncio and Pope Representative to our country, Your Excellency, the 4th President of the Republic of Kenya, the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, viongozi wote mulio hapa, ndugu wananchi wa Embu, hamjambo. Moriaro, Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Tumsifu Yesu Kristo. Kwanza mimi nataka nichukue nafasi hii nimshukuru Mungu kwa kutupatia hii nafasi ya kuhudhuria sherehe hii ya muhimu kwa watu wa Embu, kwa kanisa la Katoliki na kwa taifa letu la Kenya. Najua Waumini hasa wa kanisa la Katoliki hapa Embu wamekuwa wakingojea kwa muda. Leo tumekuja hapa kumshukuru Mungu na pia Papa wetu kwa kuteua na kumpa nafasi askofu wetu mpya, Askofu Peter Kimani. On behalf of the government of Kenya, I want to congratulate you, Bishop Peter Kimani. Congratulations on your appointment as the Bishop of Embu. Na mimi nataka nikuhakikishie vile viongozi wengine wamesema, sote tuko tayari kufanya kazi na wewe vile tunafanya kazi na wenzako katika uaskofu wa sehemu mbalimbali na kanisa Katoliki kwa ujumla. Wiki hii imekuwa wiki mzuri sana kwangu na kanisa la Katoliki. Kwa sababu leo mimi niko Embu kwa sherehe hii ya muhimu sana ya askofu wetu wa Embu. Jana nilikuwa katika graduation ya Tangaza University ambayo inasimamiwa na kanisa letu la Katoliki. Na juzi nilipata salamu kutoka maaskofu wetu ya barua. So mimi nafikiri ndio nikamilishe kesho, nafikiri nitatafuta mahali ya kwenda ibada ya Jumapili katika kanisa Katoliki ndio iwe complete. Hii wiki ikae mzuri. Vile vile wakati tumeanza hii ibada nikaona Askofu Peter ameitwa hapa kufanyiwa interview kama ako tayari kwa hii kazi. Na kidogo nilipata wasiwasi. Niliona alijibu ya kwanza, kajibu ya pili, kapata wasiwasi, na hii interview ikienda sio vizuri tutafanya nini na tumekuja wengi. Lakini askofu, congratulations kwa kupita mtihani. Sasa tuko na askofu mpya hapa Embu County. Vile kanisa wametueleza, leo sio siku ya kuongea mambo ya maendeleo na siasa. Nashukuru gavana wetu amesema kwa niaba yetu sote, mimi nitatafuta nafasi yangu nikuje nilale hapa Embu ndio tupange mambo ya maendeleo ya hapa Embu County. Baada ya hii Krismasi, mapema mwaka ujao nitakuwa hapa. Mambo yenu ya maji, mambo yenu ya barabara, mambo yenu ya stima, masomo ya watoto wetu, niko na mambo hiyo yote na tutakuja tuseme wakati huo. Nataka tu nimwambie kiongozi wetu aliyestaafu Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, ile kazi uliniwachia mimi nang'ang'ana nayo mbaya sana. Nasukuma kusukuma. Na pale kwa CBC tulianza mambo ya elimu mpya, mfumo mpya 2017. Nataka niseme kufikia sasa, next year tunaenda grade 9 na tayari tumenunua vitabu ya watoto wetu wa grade 9 1-to-1. Wabunge hawa wanajenga madarasa 5,000, serikali kuu inajenga madarasa 11,000. Tayari tumeajiri walimu mpya wa JSS 46,000, na tena mwaka huu, mwisho wa mwaka huu, this December, saa hizi tunaajiri walimu wengine 20,000 ambao watatusaidia kusomesha watoto wetu tukisonga mbele. My friend, the fourth president, uliniwachia ile kazi ya affordable housing. Mimi sasa nasukumana na hiyo affordable housing. Hata hapa Embu tayari iko 80% ambayo tumefanya. Tunajenga nyumba 1160 tayari inaendelea sehemu tofauti tofauti katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na hiyo kazi nasukuma kwa sababu ndio itaweza kutupatia nafasi ya ajira na iweze kutusaidia kupeleka taifa letu la Kenya mbele. Vile vile katika mambo ya matibabu, jana tumezungumza mambo ya matibabu ya universal health coverage. Hata mimi nikitoka hapa saa hizi, mimi nitapitia kwa hospitali hapa Embu, kwa sababu nataka nihakikishe ya kwamba vile tulikubaliana na hao wananchi, mambo ya matibabu isiwe starehe ya watu wadosi, iwe ni haki ya kila mwananchi wa taifa letu la Kenya. Na hiyo kazi nitahakikisha, kwa sababu tulianzisha pale ikawa na matatizo, lakini mimi nataka niwahakikishie wa Kenya na niwahakikishie wa maaskofu wetu, vile wametusahihisha kwamba kuna makosa hapa na pale, hiyo makosa tutarekebisha, kwa sababu universal health coverage is a must do, because indeed it will make the difference and make sure no citizen is left behind. Kwa hivyo watu wa Embu, vile mumesikia askofu wetu amesema na vile viongozi wengine wamesema, tutashirikiana kwa pamoja, tuungane, tuweke umoja na tupange vile nchi yetu ya Kenya itasonga mbele. Kwa hivyo nataka niwachie hapo kwa leo na niwaambie nitarudi tena ndio tuongee yale tumepanga tukienda mbele kwa pamoja. Asanteni sana, Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Makofi kwa mheshimiwa rais wetu tafadhalini. Ongeza. Ongeza. Makofi. Your Excellency, allow us now to conclude with the invitation of the Apostolic Nuncio and our chair, and finally to listen to our new bishop. May I take this moment to invite our chairman of the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops from a very, very, very brief message, where we invite also the Apostolic Nuncio for a brief message, and finally a brief message from the new bishop. Naomba tuvumilie kidogo, tungoje sauti ya askofu mpya. Karibu askofu ndugu yangu.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, and your Deputy Professor Kithure Kindiki, our beloved Governor of Embu, Madam Cecil Mbarire, our retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, our former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, elected leaders, national level and county level, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen who have joined us today, thank you very much for coming. Your Excellency, the Apostolic Nuncio, Your Eminence, John Cardinal Njue, Your Graces, Your Lordships, Superiors, General, Major Superiors here present,
the proxies of the various bishops, Reverend Fathers, religious men and women, and my dear faithful. On behalf of the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops, and on my own behalf, we want to welcome into the community of bishops, the conference, our new bishop, Peter Kimani Ndungu. Your Lordship, most welcome to the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops. And as it is usually my duty, I want to hand over to you the statutes of the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops and the other regulations governing our secretariat and our running of the Catholic Church in the country. Your Lordship, please welcome and receive the statutes of the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops and the bylaws of our secretariat. Karibu sana. Most welcome. Thank you. My dear friends, my dear brothers and sisters, we have just concluded our plenary assembly of bishops of the November plenary assembly that was yesterday in Ruaraka. And we deliberated on many things, we reflected on many things. One of the key issues about which we reflected was apostolate of the youth. Currently, the youth apostolate is being dealt with under the Commission for Pastoral and Lay Apostolate. But realizing how important this section of our society, of our country is, we can no longer deal with it as a department under a commission. In the resolution of the bishops during their meeting, they resolved to form a commission entirely for the young people. So it's going to be a full-fledged commission for youth apostolate. They did not just resolve to form a commission for youth apostolate, they also elected the relevant bishops who are going to be dealing with this commission. And the new chairman of the Commission for Youth Apostolate in the Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops is Bishop Henry Juma Odonya of Kitale. Let us give him a clap. And his vice in that Commission for Youth Apostolate is Bishop Peter Kimani Ndungu of Embu. Bishop, welcome kufanya kazi, kutusaidia kufanya kazi, na Mungu azidi kubariki sana unapofanya kazi. Ulikuwa magerezani, sasa ni vijana, utaendelea kufanya kazi nao. Mimi naleta risala zangu za kipekee sana za heri kwa askofu mpya wa Embu na Wakristo wa Embu kwa sherehe nzuri ambayo tumekuwa nayo. Sasa mmepata baba, kazi isonge mbele ya uinjilishaji na kutengeneza barabara ambayo itatupeleka sisi sote kule mbinguni. Nashukuru familia, haswa mama yake askofu wetu mpya Peter Kimani, wa kumkuza, kumlinda katika imani mpaka kumfikisha mahali alipo kuchagua kumhudumia Mungu. Hasa kanisa memuomba aje asaidie Wakristo wa Embu. Mama, asante sana pamoja na familia. Asanteni sana wote kwa kufika kwa hii sherehe ya kipekee sana ya kuaskofuisha huyu askofu wetu mpya. Namuomba Mungu aendelee kumbariki na kufungulia milango ya kwenda kule mbele ili Wakristo wote kama kondoo wapate kufikishwa kule Mungu anatarajia wafikishwe katika maisha yao ya hapa duniani. Asanteni sana na Mungu azidi kuwabariki. Ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kumkaribisha Askofu Mkuu Hubertus Van Megen, mwakilishi wa Baba Mtakatifu ambaye amesimamia hii sherehe ili naye atoe hotuba yake. Karibu sana Nuncio. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Grace. His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Kithure Kindiki, Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, I see that Uhuru Kenyatta already left. The governor of Embu, all the representatives of the civil and the political authorities, His Eminence Cardinal John Jue, all the archbishops, bishops, and of course in a special way our new bishop, Peter Kimani. And then my brothers in the priesthood, brothers and sisters of the religious life, people of God, and in a special way, of course, also Mama Askufo and the other relatives here, Tumsifu Jesu Christo. In a special way also, and it has not been mentioned yet, I would like to present to you Father Eli Nasser, who is seated here behind. Élève-toi pour un moment, oui. Eli Nasser, he is a Lebanese priest who comes here as a representative of the ICCPPC, which means the International Commission of Catholic Pastoral Prison Care. So he came all the way from Lebanon to be with his colleague and friend. So give Makofi. And as he is here, we also think, of course, of Lebanon, of that whole region which is in turmoil and in war, and we pray that very soon there will be peace and justice in this country, in that country. A special thanks also to the mother of the new bishop. Had it not been for you, madam, and for the siblings and the other relatives, this young man would not be where he is today. You brought him up in such a way that he could become a bishop. You worked very hard to put and instill in him all the qualities of being a good human being. As it was mentioned by the governor, he is tall and has a beautiful smile, but he has already a ring, governor, so... So he is already taken. Pole. We keep on praying for the new bishop, of Bishop Peter Kimani, that he may grow very quickly in his new office as being the bishop of this great diocese of Embu. We pray also, of course, for the former bishop, Bishop Kariuki, who, as you all know, is sick, and we pray for him that he may recover very soon, because he's a man of God, a man of the church, and we are still in need of him. So with that, I would like to invite, can I do that? Oh, yes. Can I invite the new bishop, because that's what you... Kindly. Yes. Let me then invite the new bishop, Peter Kimani, to come forward and to address us with his first maiden speech, so to say, as the bishop of Embu.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the Deputy President, Professor Kithure Kindiki, Your Excellency, the Nuncio to Kenya and South Sudan, Bart van Megen, Your Eminence, John Cardinal Jue, Your Graces, Your Lordships, Your Excellency, the Governor, all protocol observed. My fellow priests, let me just mention them in the even if I had said all protocol observed, because that is just a few hours ago I had just come from there. But so I cannot forget my background, where I have come from. Allow me to take this opportunity just to say a few things, because the feeling that I had when I entered this ground was actually taken care of when I slept here. When I prostrated here and you sang the litany of the saints, Your Excellency, you are right. It was a real exam, because it was pain. You could feel it. I could feel it. But when His Excellency put the ring and as he said, he told me that now you are taken, I realized it is true. I am taken, not from the people, but taken back to the people from prison. So I want to thank Your Excellency very much for this opportunity. Allow me to start my short speech by quoting the letter of Peter, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5, which is also the base of my motto. All of you clothe yourselves with humility in your dealings with one another, for God opposes the proud, but bestows favor on the humble. And therefore it is with great humility and love that I take courage to stand before you, people of God, to thank God our Father for graciously granting me this opportunity in my life to serve Him as one of the successors of the apostles in the church, and thereby joining the College of Bishops in the Kenya Catholic and Kenya Conference of Catholic Bishops. In spite of my unworthiness, He has called me, and He knows why. He has chosen me amongst all my brother priests. But as we know from Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8, His ways are not our ways, and His thoughts are not our thoughts. Allow me then, therefore, to thank the Holy Father, Pope Francis, who in his divine inspiration gave me this appointment to the office of Bishop of the Diocese of Embu. This was announced to me and to the people of Embu on the 15th of August 2024 on the occasion of the solemnity of the Assumption of Our Lady into heaven at 1 p.m. I pray that may our Mother Mary, assumed into heaven, continue to intercede and protect the Holy Father, the Vicar of Christ, and through you, Your Excellency, I assure him of my obedience and prayers as he continues to serve the people of God. Secondly, I want to take this chance to thank the Apostolic Nuncio to Kenya and South Sudan, His Excellency Bart Van Megen, for his words of encouragement and filial support when he gave me that information about the appointment, and also for ordaining me today as the 4th Bishop of the Diocese of Embu. Your love and your commitment and your fatherly care to the church in Kenya has now ensured that all the dioceses in the country have shepherds for the flock of Christ. May God bless you immensely, Your Excellency. I want to take this chance also to thank Your Graces, Your Eminence, Your Graces and Your Lordships for your encouraging and warm messages that you sent me after my appointment and even as you laid your hands on me today. Your presence here is a profound testament to me that I am not going to walk alone, but rather I'm joining a college of brothers in the episcopate, with who in the spirit of synodality we shall walk together in one mission, in one communion and participation in the growth of the family of God. And now, as the way the chairman has just given me an appointment to be the vice chairman of the Commission for the Youth. Chairman, I promise to collaborate with you and the rest of the bishops in carrying out this mission. I look forward to an exciting and a fulfilling journey of my pastoral work amongst you. I can't forget Your Grace Anthony Moheria, Your Grace Philip Anyolo in a very special way. The two of you, you have held me with your arms, with your hands, in the palm of your hands, with your advice, with your encouragement and friendship. Thank you very much, Your Graces. To my predecessors, His Eminence John Cardinal Jue, His Grace Anthony Muheria, His Lordship Paul Kariuki, for the foundations of faith and of the church that they have laid in this diocese and they have built. And I pick also from where they have reached, not left, where they have reached. So that together with this great pastoral team in the Diocese of Embu, we shall continue to build on what you have started. And I promise the religious and the priests of this diocese that we shall walk and work together towards that common mission. Special thanks to the priests and religious brothers and sisters from the Archdiocese of Nairobi. You guys, you are great to me because I have enjoyed for the years that I have done my apostolate in the prisons and in the Archdiocese of Nairobi. I have enjoyed my work and your fraternity, your pastoral commitment. You have been very professional in your apostolate. Your sense of humor when we meet during our clergy meetings and the love that you have for your bishops and for the church, it's beyond understanding. I pray that we continue with the same spirit, support your bishops, and be assured of my prayers and pray for me as well. To my family here, represented very well by our matriarch, our mother, Janet Wabui Dongo. And in absence, our father who is somewhere watching over us at this particular moment, Mr. Joseph Dongo, my brothers and sisters here present, and your loved ones, and your children, my aunts, my cousins, my nephews, my nieces, all my extended family. We have grown together. We have come from far. We have quarreled. We have reconciled. We have been patient with one another. And we have grown together in faith. That is the most important thing. Imani ile ambayo tumepewa na wazazi wetu. And it is to that I say thank you to God for you, and to thank you for making me who I am. Were it not for you, as His Grace, the Apostolic Nuncio said, probably I would not be who I am. I want to take this opportunity to thank the government, Your Excellency, in a very, very special way for gracing this occasion, this celebration. It's a great honor, and most of an honor that I'm speaking after His Excellency has spoken. Usually when the President speaks, we hear the national anthem, and everybody is told to go home. I'm very sure all those who have spoken after you were doing the national anthem. So let us take that, let me take that with a lot of humility, that your leadership has made this occasion because of the peace that we are enjoying. I do not take it for granted, and this is also a testament of our common purpose as church and state, to serve the people holistically and in solidarity for the good of all. So let us embrace each other in this area and focus on this common purpose through listening to each other and also discerning what God wants us to do together to make Kenya great. Your Excellency and your leadership, I promise you my prayers, and also with the county government, Your Excellency, the governor and your team, as you've said, you are working together with the church here. We shall walk and we shall work together to realize the dreams of our people. To my former employer, the Kenya Prison Service, I see our Commissioner General is here present, the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Correctional Services, the former Commissioner General of Prisons, Brigadier Warioba. Who else do I see? Let's give our commissioner, all those commissioners, and all those people, the Secretary, Probation and Aftercare here with us. We are in the same department in my previous employment. let me take this opportunity to thank you for you maximally used my youth. And you not only did you make it expire, but you matured it so that I be who I am today. I say thank you. The prisons has released me before my time. I had 2 more years to go so that I can be able to rejoin the society. But since I have been given the amnesty, I have come out stronger now with energy so that I can be able to serve the people of Embu. That is now a new jargon for those who are working within the criminal justice system, that when you are given an amnesty, the presidential amnesty by the president, by the power of mercy, you are set free before you finish your sentence. Therefore, I finished my sentence beforehand. I will miss you, but as I say, what you miss, you hold close to your heart with prayers. I will pray for you. I pray for the success of the work that you do of rehabilitating and bringing back honor and dignity to those people whose lives are broken by crime and deviance. And I am happy, and I can assure you, Your Excellency and my Lord Bishops, you could have seen, you saw the product of our work. You saw the prisoners do the same today. Let's give them a clap. I don't know whether they are still around. And our prisoners, it means that actually this service has brought together from the highest to those that we consider the lowest. We are all sharing from the same table. I thank all the religious priests, all the priests, religious and women, and the lay movements, committee members of this Diocese of Embu for their warm welcome since yesterday. I look forward to living and working amongst you as a Christian, a priest, your bishop, and your shepherd. Let's work together as we celebrate 50 years also, as we celebrate 100 years of our diocese, also 50 years of the small Christian community in the Amesea region. I call upon you that we do a revitalization of our jumuiyas. We give them a renewed purpose and make them a real church in our neighborhood, where our families, our youth especially, the role that have been given, can find belonging and spiritual care. To the committee that has done this job, Vicar General Father Wanyoike, let me say you have done a wonderful job. It is not easy what you have brought up or what you have put together. The choir, asanteni sana. I could not have... Your voices were angelic. I now imagine what I'm going to be experiencing during Mass. Thank you very, very, very much. We shall work together for the common good and also be grounded on the values and principles of the gospel of Christ, who served us in humility and love up to death. Let's strengthen our family values and focus on our youth and children by teaching them to love our church, to love the vocation to the family, the vocation to the religious life, the vocation to priesthood, and also to love the church. Finally, now I can say with full confidence that I feel at home. Muriaro ando Embu. Muriaro rege. Na niende mwega. For the visitors who are here, nina mwata ugeni kuko gwetu. Embu. Na mweigwe mweke. Mweigwe mwemusie. Mutike nuke narua. Mwekarange. Tulie na tunywe. Na tuweke atia. Na tuithambe na mo. Negwe kana tigwe. Haya basi Mungu awabariki sana. Na mkirudi, mrudi salama. And for those who are staying over, we are a generous and hospitable people. Welcome tomorrow for the Thanksgiving Mass at the Cathedral. Thank you very much. May God bless you. May He protect us. May He be our shield and defender. Tumukumie Yesu Kristo. Asanteni sana.
With that, I finish the role I've been given, and I beg any indulgence for any oversight, anyone who was not recognized. But again, our utmost gratitude to the President, the Deputy, and the entourage. Thanks. God bless you. With this, I pass on to the MC, who will now lead us in the final moment, giving some instructions. We will finish the Mass, and anyone with gifts will then come to give the gifts to the new bishop. Already, the Christians gave the bishop a car, which he's already using the first time this morning, which he came. Thank you very much, the dear Christians of Embu. And all those who may have gifts are kindly later on can come up to give him the gifts. Thank you once more, and I return this to the MC.
Asanti. Matangazo matatu. La kwanza ni hili. Kesho saa 3 kamili tuna misa ya shukrani ya mhashamu askofu wetu mpya kule kathedrali. Pili, tuna chakula cha mchana kwa kila mmoja wetu, mapadri, watawa,
multicolored lake in Kenya. The lake is made up of orange, red, purple, and green puddles which are separated by salt moles. It has different hues due to the alkaline nature of the water, and this makes the area have an acid smell.
What's your favorite thing about this place?
My favorite thing is about the multicolored water pods. Green, red, pink, yellowish. There are other pods that are pure. So I'm just wondering what scientific theory can explain these multicolored water pods. Yes.
Ama ni mtu alikuja kaeka kala alafu.
At one point I was thinking the red ones ni ng'ombe zimechinjwa zikaekwa damu huko. Yes. All in science. I remember in high school there was something that the level of alkalinity and acidity was determining at times the color of the water. So I'm trying to imagine it couldn't be either.
The source of the unique color combinations is thought to be openings in the earth's crust, which are known as fumaroles. The color changes as a result of chemical reactions resulting from the minerals contained in the lake, perhaps triggered by volcanic activities. According to scientists, it is, however, more accurate to refer to the colors as being driven by oxidation reduction chemical dynamics. The walls of the Magado crater rises 73 meters and the diameter is 800 meters. Debris blasted out during the crater eruption formed a rim of 80 to 100 meters thick and a crater with an average depth below the rim of 140 meters. Due to their uniqueness, the multicolored lakes, including Lake Magado, attract tourists and geologists on a yearly basis. People living near the lake have been collecting soda from the lake for thousands of years, and they have also been sharing the crater with the pastoralist communities who mainly go there to water their animals during the rainy season and collect soda during the dry season. You really have to love the people here. They package the soda in all natural and biodegradable bark from the banana plant. For the locals, Magado is a lifeline providing economic capabilities that serve to diversify their income. Even though we are in a severe drought, I'm able to find a small patch of grass that is watered by the spring. Wow, this place is just beautiful. Na ukumbuke ni msimu wa kiangazi kali. These are the things that make me want to dream. Next week, we head further north to neighboring Isiolo. You know how much I love springs, so I had to visit a park famous for its springs. We'll show you some of the desperate measures being taken to keep some of the endangered animals alive. We will learn of the unique wildlife found only in the northern part of the country. And did you know that during World War II, the Italian Air Force gifted the North with a swimming pool? Ah, grazie.
This week on the Chama Show.
Wazi.
Nasikia wewe pia ni chama.
Kabisa, unajua mimi ni chairman wa chama za Kenya, chama chama.
Na nasikia wewe ndio unaweka pesa.
Vizuri.
No, the chairman is not supposed to keep money. It is the work of the treasurer.
Tunaendea chai sana kwa wingi kwa sababu tunakuja mapema. Na tukikuja mapema mke hawezi kupika chai hiyo wakati wa mapema. Kwa sababu labda kama yeye atashughulikia watoto waende shule.
Catch this and more on Sunday at 4:30 p.m.
Where did you come from?
Hamlet. So this is where the magic happens. This is for you kids.
Taste the magic with our festive cakes from DPL Festive Bakery. Delight with every bite.
Are you ready for the show?
This week on Churchill Show.
Churchill, every time he comes, the first thing he says, you must have been a beautiful baby.
Tell them you must have been a beautiful baby.
But yeah.
She's your lady, your business partner. Hata baba yangu na mama yangu walianza hivyo.
Ukitaka kujua mwaka ya demu, unazaga tu randomly kutusima mwaka. Na mademu wa 90s ubievaje? Mimi watu wa 1.
Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
NTV, turning on your world. The following program has been rated PG. It may contain scenes unsuitable for children under the age of 10.